Welcome back to Speed Round the podcast on the Waffle Press Movie Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Gina Versa, and today we have a guest. Met her at Comic Con. We were, we had some mutual friends, and what was it? Talking on the con on Lord of the Rings. I
Yes.
mentioned the origin of Middle Earth a few times, so it'll become a recurring bit. But welcome to the show, Rusak. How you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and have a fun chat.
Awesome, yeah. And we're talking Dust Bunny. We'll speed run some topics and questions in 10 minutes. You have the questions and everything, so you're ready. But it's your first time on the show. For any listener that for any listener, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, of course. So I'm Ro. I'm currently the editor-in-chief at Nerdist, an online entertainment publication where we do deep dives, analyses, explainers, emotional op-eds, and just general entertainment news about all things kind of genre, fantasy, sci-fi, etc. Yeah, and really this is a great topic for me because Hannibal,
Oh
the
yeah,
TV series by Brian Fuller, really created me in many ways and led me to be here talking with you today. So it's like full circle moment, and I'm glad to be here.
yeah. No, I've been enjoying the articles that you've been sharing. The Stranger Things ones have been really fun. Uh,
Yes, read my pieces about Steve and Dustin for all of the
yeah,
feels.
I know it's been a very emotional storyline seeing them be at odds with each other. So
I know. Oh my goodness. It really like it hurt me. But it re really hurt me most of all because I couldn't have expected really like Dustin's grief about Eddie to like sort of be the real like I had hoped maybe that that would be the real sort of interjection between them,
mhm.
but I couldn't really have expected it. So, because I love Eddie and I love Steve and I love Dustin, but this is a different topic for a different time. But all
Yeah,
this to say that that particular storyline was very important to me personally, and I'm glad to get it in such a nuanced way.
yeah. Anyone listening, please check out that article.
Please do.
Yeah. But yeah, bro, Dust Bunny just came out this week. You saw it earlier than
I
me.
did. I've seen it maybe three or four times at this point.
Nice.
I saw it sort of ahead of the press stuff we did. I saw it again to write my review. Sort of we had screeners, and then I saw it in theaters, and I saw it at a screening, and
Oh
I saw
wow.
it at its New York premiere. I actually visited the set and
Oh,
while it was filming.
oh, that's awesome.
That's all.
So you're like extremely prepared for
I'm locked in on Dust Bunny.
yeah. It was really fun. I think yeah, we were talking about it a little before the recording. It's very like whimsical. I was saying it reminded me of like a Leica movie a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. It's got this great fairy tale energy, but I feel like in this really deep way, like you were saying, like we'll talk about it a bit more, but like Labyrinth, like those great sort of 80s fantasies that really had this like depth to them that I feel sometimes we don't get as much depth in movies today. Sometimes they can feel more sort of shallow or more spectacle-y without like a breath of constant like density or like story kind of coming together on them. But I felt like Dust Bunny was really like you could just dig into it and dig into it and dig into it. And you could think about it for a long time. So I
Yeah,
think that was
yeah,
wonderful.
I think it lends itself to other viewings. Yeah, I would say. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I guess with that, we'll go right into it. I'm gonna get the timer ready, and the timer will count down to 10 minutes.
Okay, let's
Um,
see.
yeah,
Is brevity my strong point? No, but here we
it'll be
are.
fun. Three people have beaten this out of,
Oh, is it a race?
yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
No,
just saying,
I just.
yeah, just saying it is possible to
Okay,
pull it
okay,
off. Other
okay.
people have attempted it. But yeah,
Mm,
Ro, if you're ready,
yeah,
I'll start the timer.
great.
And here we go. Okay, so what were your expectations going into the film? You're a big Hannibal fan. Other TV shows from Bryan Fuller that you liked? Tell us.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my expectations going in was that it would be like another incredible piece of kind of fantasy horror. I call it whimsical horror. We used that word before from Bryan Fuller. I feel like Bryan has the mind of a true like genius artist. Like he sees the world in a way that none of the rest of us normal people could possibly begin to see it. And so just to see his sort of creative work distilled into like one narrative that like starts and finishes within a set amount of time, like I will later talk about it, but a movie versus a TV show is really exciting because like that gives him the chance to like really tell his whole story and yeah, just bring his like vision of this beautiful, lush, surreal world that is his sort of trademark world to life. So that's kind of what I was hoping for, and it's definitely what I received. And of course, like Mads Mikkelsen works on it, and you always know he's going to deliver a stellar performance, and of course, he does here as well.
Love Mads. That leads us into the
Yes,
second question. He plays 5B, or I guess in the credits,
the intriguing neighbor.
intriguing neighbor, which he is. Is
Yes.
this one of your favorite Mads Mikkelsen performances? And if not, what is?
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite Mads Mikkelsen performances. I feel like Brian and Mads, just by virtue of having worked together for so long, although of course Mads has many Danish collaborators who also have known him very well in some of his other movies, like you can really sort of feel that history in the role and that Brian really knows Mads's like strengths, his obviously his ability to do stunts, his ability to be fierce and scary, but also like how charming he is, how good his comedic timing is, how sort of earnest he can be. So I feel like this movie really pulled together what we usually see from Maz, maybe in American audiences, what they expect from him, but also what his sort of truer fans know that he's capable of, the sort of full spectrum of acting abilities, which he delivers on so many counts. Of course, Hannibal is my favorite Mads Mikkelsen role and always will be because like I've loved that series for, you know, like a decade now plus. So you just can't compete with history like that. And Hannibal was just a character who really appealed to me. This is happens in Dustbunny as well, but Hannibal is this kind of he's a real character, a real man. He's a human on the show, but he's also this sort of surreal god at the same time. And it's really like understanding this fine line that Brian draws between like how it can be reality, but it can still be fantasy. And like it's just this really like fabulous, nuanced experience. And of course I thought Hannibal was like just a little baby cannibal learning his feelings for the first time, falling in love, etc. And that was a rich story that called to me. So that will always be my favorite Mads Mikkelsen role. But the intriguing neighbor was a super fun and exciting role as well.
It was, yeah. He's great in so many things, from video games to TV shows to movies. So love Mads
Yeah.
Mikkelsen. Speaking of TV shows, Brian Fuller did a lot of TV work, and this is his first film. How does this kind of go with the rest of his work, would you say?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like a distillation of a little bit of everything that we see sort of in different ways in Brian's other work. Obviously, like in Wonder Falls and Pushing Daisies, that those were a bit more on the sort of whimsy, like dark comedy. Like it was dark, but it was funny. The aesthetic vibes were cheerful. So I feel like we have some of that energy. And then of course there's Hannibal. And Hannibal is a very darker, it's a drama, there's murder, but it's also very funny. Like I feel like people who really watch Hannibal really see that it's like a really, really like humorous show with a lot of comedy in there, even though on the surface it can seem dark and dour. So I feel like there was those elements of Hannibal. You could really feel them coming in, like sort of in the assassin and the murder and that great scene where they were like dismembering the man in the bathroom. And Maz was like, "You can't watch this, but you can help me pack him up into little presents and put stickers on him." You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like that was could have been a scene right out of Hannibal, and then like but sort of like whimsy of the costumes and the the beautiful patterns, everything Aurora was wearing, the childishness of it all. Um, the sort of sillier scenes in the tea shop with Sigourney Weaver's character and all of that good stuff. Like you really feel those parts of Brian coming in. So I feel like he really got to put like himself purely onto the movie screen. And when you're writing a series, it's like
Mhm.
constant and it's a long process and every episode you have to go back, you have to get notes, etc. I feel like when you're making sort of your indie movie, your vision is perhaps more retained. So maybe it was more unadulterated, Brian,
Yeah.
on our screens. And I think like everything else that it really just feels different to like any other movie you could watch. There's so much happening, but it all really comes together in a cohesive way. So I really enjoyed those elements of it.
Yeah, no, that's well said. And with that, would you like to see another film from him or like a TV show if you had to choose one?
Well, if I had to choose, we would have Hannibal season 4 back on our screens. But you know what? I want Brian to be able to do whatever Brian wants to do, So I think with Brian, like you can really see when you watch one of his projects that it's about the passion, about like his vision. And if he's in it, then it's like it's amazing. And it's like you could tell that it's better than other things because he has a vision and he wants it to be as good as it is in his mind in reality. And that's such a hard thing to achieve. So I feel like wherever his heart pulls him, I'm happy to sit there and witness it because it's always incredible.
Yeah. And the setting for the film, it's in New York. It's kind of like a storyboard version of New York. Yeah, it's very uh, exaggerated. But as a New Yorker, how faithful was it to New York despite that?
Sure. I mean, obviously, it's like a dream New York, a very high fantasy New York, like a surreal New York. I mean, I appreciate that it was set in New York because I feel like New York is an iconic place, and why shouldn't anything be purported to be in New York? And then like Aurora and the Intriguing Neighbor, they have very New Yorky energy, I feel like. Where else would you find all these people? Of course, it isn't like it's
Yeah,
not like New York is like that. But I love that's kind of what I love is that it's like set in New York. It's like they're real people kind of, but it's like a reality that's like just slightly skewed so that reality exists, but fantasy exists too, and it's all real. Like the reality is real, and the fantasy is real, and that's real. And you never have to be like, is this a fantasy? Is this reality? Because the answer is yes. Like it is reality. There's also fantasy, and they're both real, kind of. So, in my New York, fireflies can lead me to assassins, and I can wish on stars and monsters to live here. I'm all in for that. But does it look like New York City? I mean, obviously it doesn't really, but that's not
yeah,
really the point.
yeah, for sure. Kind of grounding this whole movie is the actress Sophie Sloane as
Mhm.
Aurora. Pronounced it right, unlike Mads in the movie. But yeah, what do you think of her performance?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you have to act with Mads Mikkelsen and Sigourney Weaver and you're a child, like
Yeah,
that's no easy task, but I think she really managed. I think it was so good to cast kind of a child and like maybe not a sort of super like professional, I've done this a million times child because I think she really brings this great like childish logic to the proceedings. Like she really sells Aurora's like, well, when you get eaten by a monster, I'll say I told you so, which is something like only a child would like deliver with such aplomb or like just the certainty in herself, which I think is just a very childlike trait. I feel like as we grow up, we doubt ourselves more, but she really brings that like, I know there's a monster. None of you believe me, and I don't care because it's real, and I'm I'm fully aware that I'm right and you're wrong, and like I need you, but I know you're not as smart as I
Oh,
am. So I really
all
enjoyed
right.
her. No
And
problem.
we are out of time.
Oh my
Out of time.
goodness. What a
Yeah,
quick thing.
I know. We got through six of the 12, so it's like halfway, but you
Okay,
know,
okay.
some good answers. But it's not if you win or lose, it's how you play the game. So
Oh yeah, of
that's
course.
what I like to say. But
Listen, I think it was a great fun time. I'm for sure. Yeah, I guess just as we sort of round up, just sort of riffing on the questions we didn't like
mhm.
really get to. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm just a question about the last shot and the monster and whether the monster worked. Like, that's something I've thought a lot about, and I actually
Sure,
really
yeah.
love the monster. Because I feel like it could represent so many things, like
Cool.
the trauma within us, the trauma that haunts us. Is it us overcoming our trauma? Is it the fact that our trauma is always a part of us and we can't do anything about it? Like, and I feel like there's so many interpretations, but the movie doesn't demand that you choose one, which is
Yeah.
really like a beautiful quality of it because I think there's like a lot of themes at
Mhm.
work, but not necessarily a select, like, this is what that theme means, but rather an invitation for you to think about what
Mm.
the monster means for you, who the monster is for you, and to put yourself into the narrative instead of being like, this is the movie's narrative and you must ascribe to it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's really well said. Yeah, I wanted to get to that question with you because that was a very interesting way to end the film with knowing that she summoned the monster as well
Yeah.
in the events of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really love that it's her monster and that it doesn't want to hurt her, but in protecting her, it's hurting her anyway. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have a discriminate ability, but maybe if she stopped hiding from it and like acknowledged it, then like they could build a better monster child relationship in the future. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
maybe it's gone, is it feral? Is it feral? I never say that word right. Maybe
Yeah, I
it's
think so.
gone monstrous because she's been shoving it under the bed and not playing with it. And if she just opened some space for the monster, then the monster could just get her on her knees and leave the people she loves alone. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's what I take away, but like I said, the movie doesn't come down one way or another. So I think when it's chasing it, like there's a ominousness to the monster following them out of the city, but there's also a comfort to it. Like she's protected in a sense by this monster, although this monster is still a unpredictable creature. So I think there's like this to me there's like and like knowing Brian's work, etc. Like there's still this vision of like, well, maybe there's a way where the intriguing neighbor, Sophie, I mean Aurora and the monster can all live harmoniously in the future. And the
Cool.
monster can actually be their good friend.
Less, less
That's what I choose to take away.
yeah, less eating of people.
Well, just eating of the right people, I
Of the
would
right
say.
people, yeah.
Yeah, just the assassins coming to kill you and not your assassin father. Like I feel like these are important distinctions, which the monster doesn't know because she won't give it any love. So maybe she just gave the monster some attention, then he'd pay attention to what she wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my vision. Because I like that as her monster. And that in a sense, it just received this directive and didn't know how to stop following it. I don't know. I
Mhm.
feel like the monsters in our life is probably fascinating and we should ask it how it's feeling.
Yeah. No, yeah, like the monster was like one of the interesting aspects because it's like very mysterious. It's also like kind of stop motion too. where it kind of looks like that.
Yeah, yeah, it was a whole puppet. I stuck my head in its mouth.
Oh, okay.
It was a huge puppet. Made by some of the folks I think worked on The Mandalorian, some
Hmm.
Star Wars stuff. So I think that really added to its existence. But I was so happy there was a real monster and that you saw the monster and that when you saw the monster, you were pleased with the monster. I feel like a reveal like that is so hard to get right when you're like, this is the monster, it's coming. And then you're like, oh, it's not the monster. But no, you were like, yeah, I love this monster. Like, what a great monster. I didn't feel let down by seeing the monster because I feel like it's easy to be excited about the monster when it's just like the corner, the shadow, the eye, and you're like, what will it look like? And then you see it and you're like, I thought what I imagined was better, but you don't feel that. Like, I feel like this is a great, great monster and he's vicious, but he's adorable. And this is another question, but I really felt like some
Hmm.
labyrinth energy and weirdly
Hmm.
almost like not the same as The Princess Bride, but just that era of these fantasy movies that were really just like they
Hmm.
felt like such a fairy tale, but there was such like a depth to the heart of them. Like I really received all of that.
Yeah, I got that vibe as well. I think, or excuse me, that was one of the questions that I sent you. Was
Yeah.
like, what inspirations could you see from this film? I see Labyrinth. Um,
Yeah.
there was one movie. Okay, it's from Alfonso Cuarón. I just remembered,
Mm.
like Little Princess.
Okay,
Remind me of.
interesting.
Not sure if you've seen that one.
I don't know if I've seen that one in specific.
Yeah, but it's one of his older films. But
Yeah, I actually, yeah, yeah, interesting, interesting. Yeah, I love A Little Princess. So it's one of my favorite stories growing up. I think I said there's been a lot of adaptations. But yeah, I love that. What a great shout. But
yeah.
yeah, I loved Aurora's like campy, like adult child wardrobe and kind of
Mhm.
energy. I don't know, I just feel like it did justice to this like fun childishness, but like that point where you're growing up and you're like, I'm smarter than all the adults in the room.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah. It's a lot
And
of.
I loved Sigourney Weaver's character. I
Oh yeah,
loved
she was
her.
she
I
was
was sad
cool.
that she got eaten because I was like, this woman is the mood and a vibe. I don't know how she came to have a child. She
Uh-huh.
obviously didn't want one. But
Yeah.
but now that she has it, she's like, I don't want it. Oh, I
Hmm.
understand that completely. So I'm just like,
Yeah, I couldn't
go
think of.
off, queen, live your life.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other film where she's a villain.
Hmm.
I know there is some, but off the top of my
Yeah.
head,
Yeah, it was fun. She
yeah.
was definitely having a great time. And I said this in my review, but I loved that one scene where she was just like shot to be like so much larger than Maz
Mm-hmm.
is. And I don't actually know how tall Sigourney Weaver is, but
Mm-hmm.
I might let's see. I
Yeah.
might bet Maz is taller.
Yeah.
Um
I don't know how tall she is.
I guess maybe they're the same height, but
Mhm.
she just seemed like so big in that scene, like this kind of ogress, this like giantess, like fantasy sort of figure. She felt to me like she just expanded in that shot, and it was really like I was like, what a great sort of storytelling facet where he's like shrinking in her presence and she's
Mhm.
consuming everything.
Mhm.
Again, this like surreality where obviously she's a person and he's a person and she's not a giant, but she's like in that moment a giant. Like, so that is amazing.
Yeah, some good visual storytelling.
Yeah,
Really appreciate
absolutely.
that. This film pretty excellent. Yeah, we would recommend it. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, both really enjoyed it, but just kind of wrapping up here.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on the film that you want to say or anything?
Yeah. I mean, I think I just slipped in most of them, but yeah, obviously I would say watch Dust Bunny, which all of Brian Fuller's work. Definitely watch Hannibal, like
Hmm.
easily one of the best TV shows ever made. And I say that. just with perfect objectivity.
Yeah,
Having devoted the last 10 plus years of my life to loving it, I can say with certainty it's an amazing show. And yeah, I thought Dust Bunny was like just such a fun tale. Like I watched it, like I was saying, like 3 or 4 times, and I had a great time every time. And these were pretty close viewings, and I feel like that's hard for any movie, when you're like watching it again and again, and like still being like, wow, how fun, or I just noticed that, or it still made
mhm,
me laugh, or I still was really like caught up in the emotional resonance, or like the twists, even though I kind of had already seen them. I think that really recommends itself to a movie. And I think Matthew Lillard and David Dastmalchian want you to go watch Five Nights at Freddy's and then Dust Bunny, and they both
yeah,
feature killer bunnies. So
yeah.
cop to it.
I think it would be an interesting double feature.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, because I've seen both. I've seen Five Nights at Freddy's too,
I
and
haven't seen it yet, but
Five Nights at Freddy's is fun. I think it'd be
sure.
funner if, yeah, if I was like a bit younger, but it's still
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of also, I mean, I don't. I'm sure the games I hear are just terrifying, but it feels like a bit more like gateway horror-y as well.
Mhm.
Like you could bring your kids. Sort of the child is at the center of the narrative and all of that. So
Get them in at the younger age for
yeah,
horror.
yeah, yeah. I feel like Dust Bunny was actually super fun because I feel like if I'd been like Aurora's age, I would have been like, yeah, that's me. I'm gonna have a monster. I'm gonna wear these fabulous clothes. I'm gonna
Mhm.
steal money from a church and hire Mads Mikkelsen to be my
Yeah.
assassin. Like, so I feel like the kids in Aurora's age could really enjoy it. Just to like see themselves sort of depicted in this sort of fantasy horror. I feel like the kids fair we get these days is very childish, but when you're a kid in that age, when you're sort of approaching teenagerness, you probably don't want to just, be watching something designed for real
Yeah.
children. So this
All
seems
the
like
all the
a
Illumination movies.
exactly a good transitory time, a good transitory movie for kids in those ages. And then obviously if you're an adult, you're like, this is cool, I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it works for both. Yeah, it had some really cool like action scenes, I would imagine. As
Yeah,
an adult,
yeah,
you could really enjoy. And then for kids too, like just all the really fun elements of it. So if that's not
exactly.
a recommendation, I don't know what is. So yeah, but that's funny. It was really great. It was really cool having you on the show, Ro.
Thank you.
Yeah, first time on. We'll definitely have you back on.
Yes, have me
Talk.
back.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, if you want to talk Stranger Things or
I do. I was just
oh,
gonna
okay,
say, how fun would that be?
that'd be cool.
I'm sure I'll have lots of feelings coming
Yeah,
to a theater near
I know.
you.
Are you seeing it on New Year's Day or New
Yeah,
Year's Eve?
I'm gonna go. I'll have to cover it on New Year's
Mhm.
Eve, so I'll probably just stay home and watch it and then
Okay,
write a lot of stuff. But then on New Year's Day we have tickets for like the evening. So
nice.
I'm like, hopefully by then I've finished most of everything I need to write and I could just go cry in the theater or whatever whatever
Yeah,
will happen to me.
I'm very I'm very cautious for that finale. I hope certain characters survive, but
I know. My writer is sure that all the characters will come back at the very end. Like everybody will sort of resurrect in some sort
mm,
of either like a undoing of of the events that happened in the show or like a afterlife situation or something.
time
And I'm
travel.
like, yeah, it's time travel. And I'm like, if Eddie shows up, I'll send you $1 because I'm dubious. I'm like, I just don't know if I could believe that we'll see him again. But if he does, I will send my writer $1. So that's that's where we are.
Yeah, no, that's a good there might be good betting odds for Eddie either
Right?
surviving or coming back. So
And I'm like, I would love to send that dollar to you, but I just don't believe that I will. So
yeah,
we'll see.
yeah,
We'll see.
yeah. We'll know in a month from now or on New Year's Eve.
I know it's kind of crazy.
Uh,
Yeah, and also That's on my radar. There's a lot of happening this December. Fallout is on my radar.
Next
Some
week.
other shows
Yeah.
we're still covering. I'm just like, whoa, nobody's breaking for the holidays this
Oh
year.
yeah, a lot of stuff coming out.
Like, remember when networks used to
Mm.
stop airing new episodes, like for the 2 weeks airing before
Oh,
Christmas and then 2 weeks after New Year's? And yeah, that was so annoying for us when we were watching. But now I'm like, oh my God, bring back pausing for the
yeah,
holidays.
the winter break because
But winter break, we need
uh,
it.
it's kind of yeah. As an adult, look fondly on that because yeah, there's
Right.
a lot of drops during Christmas now.
I know. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Netflix is crazy.
Yeah, that's an intense one. I'm like almost like I know Stranger Things, that's like a one-off. You know what I mean? It's probably not gonna happen again. But I'm like, see that it doesn't.
Yeah, yeah,
I just was like, I on December, everybody wants to like be going to sleep. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I look forward to just the week between Christmas and New Year's just to do nothing and just like
yeah, that's gonna be so amazing. I know.
mm,
I'm just like, that's a great limbo time.
yeah, it's
Catch
fun.
up on everything.
Yeah,
That's we haven't had time to do.
yeah.
But watch Just Bunny in theaters.
Mhm. Definitely plugging that. But Ro, any other like plugs or promotions or anything you would want anyone?
Yeah, I mean, again, you can find my work primarily at nerdist.com these days. I'm not really on Twitter anymore, but I'm mostly on Instagram at Rotem, Rotem underscore Rusak. And so, feel free to follow me if you want.
Hmm.
I'm a little bit on Blue Sky, but I didn't really get hooked into that either. So,
It'll get better. I think it'll pay off eventually.
Blue
Better than Twitter.
Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't mind it. I just once I sort of stopped using Twitter. I was using Twitter so habitually for so long, and then when it kind of fell off and I stopped, I just was like, okay, I guess now I'm not doing this anymore. And then I just, went and touched grass and stuff. So now I'm like not as hooked into these social platforms as I once was. But
Yeah.
I'm using Instagram more, so
Yeah.
there you
Definitely.
have
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Everyone definitely follow you there because yeah, fun
Yeah.
follow.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And then you could find me on Twitter, Instagram, Gene9892. You could follow the Waffle Press on Twitter and Instagram at the Waffle Press Podcast. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. So please subscribe there and yeah, check out any of your articles as well. It was great to have you on.
Thank
Uh,
you.
yeah, this was really fun. We were trying to like plan this to have you on the show for the longest time, and it really worked out. This was a fun conversation. Sorry, it could only be 10 minutes, but yeah, you want to come on?
Was it only 10 minutes? I'm just
Oh, or
kidding.
sorry, the
Yeah,
timer
yeah, no, no,
barely.
I'm
Yeah,
joking, I'm
but it was
joking.
definitely longer.
Can I have a bonus? You can have a bonus
Yeah,
section.
bonus question.
Blooper reel.
Hmm. But yeah, we'll definitely have to have you on again. Trying to do Stranger
Amazing.
Things.
Yeah, let's do it.
That'd be awesome. But yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, any for everyone listening, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. We've been professionally unprofessional.